All right, so this is day 3 for March, arms and shoulders for Friday and Saturday. So we are going to do our specialization set, shoulders, biceps, and triceps. We got a lot of good feedback on the format of February, so we're gonna do each exercise 3 times in a row, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. The first exercise for shoulders is a low cable crossover lateral raise. So it's gonna work best if your client faces the rig. However, I will face you to do a demo. We're gonna make an X with our hands and we're gonna grab the opposite handles, stand nice and tall, pull your shoulder blades back. We're gonna start in this X position, exhale as we lift our hands to our shoulders, return to the X position at the beginning of every rep, a little more range of motion. Like I said, 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Exercise number 2, we did this several months ago. We're gonna use L2 and R2. We are going to do a front shoulder raise, both arms at the same time. So we'll grab these, we'll have to step back. A lot of the clients tend to hit their knuckles on the Smith bar. Stand tall, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale as you lift those handles overhead. The range of motion is a little bit smaller because the client has stepped out, so their hands are gonna start about here, lift up, and then lower down. 3 times, 20 on, 10 off. And then the last one, we're gonna take it back to that pike push-up. The clients this past month got to work on that for several weeks. Now we're gonna add 1.5 reps, so we're gonna make it a little more challenging. So if you remember, starting in a palm plank is the most challenging. Hips up. I've been coaching for the clients to look between their knees to keep their neck neutral. Down, halfway up, down, and then all the way up. To make it a little bit easier, they can start in bear crawl stance, up, down, half, down, and full. So they're gonna do that 3 times in a row, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So those are the 3 exercises for shoulders. Then we are going to go into our bicep circuit. So for the bicep circuit, we are going to start with both cables at the bottom, 3 exercises. The first one, we've done this before, something similar. We're gonna do a cross-body bicep curl. So we're gonna grab each handle, we're gonna curl both arms at the same time, release, curl, take your hands to your armpits or your shoulders. I'm alternating the hand that goes in the front. 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Exercise number 2 is a TRX bicep curl. So the past 2 months, they have gotten to do the alternating curl, which is a little bit easier because as one arm curls, the other arm presses. Now we're gonna make it a little more challenging. You can't see me the whole way, but our elbows stay in line with about our shoulders. Exhale as you curl those handles to about your nose line. Obviously, the further they walk their feet in, the harder it's going to be. They're back on their heels, their toes are to the ceiling. Lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, keep your core tight, and try not to tense up at your shoulders. So they're gonna do that 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And then exercise number 3, because we do use both black handles for exercise 1, before we get to exercise 3, we are going to have to take the right handle off and put the rope on. It stays at the bottom. So we're gonna do hammer curls here. Tuck your elbows, keep your back nice and tall. We're gonna do 1.5 reps here. So all the way up to your collarbones, halfway down so your elbows are at 90 degrees, back up, and then full extension. Up, half, up, and down. So those are the 3 exercises for our biceps. Then we're gonna move into triceps. So for triceps, the only thing that we need the cable for is exercise 3. So the cable's gonna go to the top. Exercise number 1, we're gonna do 3 times. It's called a diamond push-up. So it's essentially a tricep push-up. It's a little bit harder. Now I will tell you, obviously this is the diamond. My hands, it's more comfortable for my elbows and shoulders if I make kind of a triangle and overlap my thumbs. So whatever's more comfortable for your client, they're going to drop down, their hands are going to be together, and they're gonna drop into a push-up and exhale. Now clearly that wasn't very good for me, so drop to your knees, and it's gonna give them a better range of motion. They're gonna do that 3 times, pull their belly button in and squeeze their glutes to keep their body nice and flat and tight. 3 times, 20 on, 10 off. Exercise number 2 is the TRX tricep extension. So they've done this one before as well. this is a little bit challenging. I'm up on my toes, pull my core in and squeeze my glutes. I'm gonna take these handles to the top of my head and I'm gonna press away. All right, so my elbows are pretty much in line with my shoulders. Exhale as you press away. If that hurts the client for any reason, they can take a band, they can wrap it around the top, put their hands together, and they can do an overhead tricep extension with a band. And then exercise number 3, we're gonna do a row pull down. We're also gonna do 1.5 reps here. So tuck your elbows, stand close to the rig, down, halfway up, down, and then all the way up. Down, halfway, down, and up. Tight core, tight glutes, just keep their posture nice and tall. That's gonna finish out their tricep work. And then we're gonna move into a big lower body circuit. Each exercise is 30 seconds or 30 seconds per side. We have 4 exercises and we're gonna do the circuit twice. So the first one is a banded squat to calf raise. Now I tried this with the rubber band and it seemed to work okay. If the clients want to use the handled bands, I'll show you what that will look like as well. So we are going to sink down. We're gonna pull the band up. It's kind of racked across my chest. I'm gonna sink into a squat. As I stand back up, I'm gonna do a calf raise. So for the calf raise, you need to make sure that the band is under the ball of the foot. That's gonna make sure that the band doesn't slip out. Sink into a squat, come up and calf raise at the top of the rep. Kind of a fluid motion. 30 seconds. If the client wants to use the handled band, it works the same. It's just a little harder to stand on because of the shape of it. They'll rack the handles up, sink into a squat, and calf raise. Okay, sink into a squat, calf raise. As you stand from that squat, you're gonna squeeze your glutes. Your glutes stay squeezed as you do the calf raise. Pull your belly button in and squeeze your shoulder blades back just to keep a good posture. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, we're gonna take it back to the 1 cable rack curtsy lunge. So they're going to grab the handle with their inside arm, and then the outside leg is the leg that curtsies into the rig. Stand, squeeze the glute of your standing leg, back, stand and squeeze the glute of this standing leg. Turn your core on for a nice tall posture, squeeze your shoulder blades. The posture and the balance are gonna come from the core. They're gonna switch, and then they are going to, this is gonna be other black handle at the bottom, same thing. Inside arm grabs the handle, outside leg does the curtsy lunge, okay? And exercise number 3, we've done this one before as well, quadruped banded knee extension. So we are going to put the band behind our knees. We're gonna get into a quadruped position. We're gonna thrust our hips into the air, and the band is gonna do the work for us, okay? Pull your belly button in, squeeze your core and keep your back as flat as possible as you're going from quadruped to hip thrust. And then exercise number 4, so the first circuit, or one of the circuits on lower body day, we did 1 leg hip bridges into bilateral pulses. So this exercise, we're gonna do 1 leg pulse. So this is a little different, 1 leg glute bridge, and they're gonna pulse on the same leg for 30 seconds in the upward from top to up, the top half range of motion without touching their glutes to the floor. They're gonna pull their belly button in, keep their back nice and flat, and drive through those shoulder blades and the heel of their foot. 30 seconds each leg. So really quickly, we have the banded squat to calf raise. We have the 1 cable racked curtsy lunge, each leg. We have the quadruped banded knee extension, and then we have the 1 leg glute bridge or hip thrust pulses. That is 2 times through that circuit. The challenge for this is 30 seconds each leg, each exercise. There's 2 exercises. They're gonna do the banded squat to calf raise for 30 seconds, and then they're going to go into the 1-leg glute bridge pulse, 30 seconds each leg. Back to the banded squat with a calf raise, and then they'll finish with the 1-leg glute bridge pulses each leg. So 2 times through that challenge circuit. Then we're gonna go back to upper body. Our first upper body circuit has 3 exercises. We're gonna do this as 1 circuit, so exercise 1, 2, and 3, and then we're gonna go through it again. Exercise number 1 for this circuit, we need to have the rope all the way at the top. And this is the only tool that we're gonna be using. The rest is gonna be for bands. So exercise number 1 is a standing straight arm rope pull down. So they're going to stand back so their arms are straight, exhale, and they're going to use the rope. They're a little bit familiar with this movement pattern, but we haven't used the rope before. Squeeze your core nice and tight, keep your back nice and tall, and your arms nice and straight. Exhale as you pull down. The rope handles should come up to the front of the quads or the outside of the hips. 30 seconds. Exercise number 2, we've done this before. This was a killer. We have banded shoulder circles. So 15 seconds each direction seem to be a